Oh, cool. Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I have plans.
So many voices at my disposal. Anyway, yeah.
But other than that...
Who are we? What is going on?
That is a very good question. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another great episode of General Geekery. The show where we like to geek out of all the things. Sometimes we will talk about a specific topic. Others, we will just have some general musings. Mm-hmm. This is Donald Kaczynski here once again. Mm-hmm. And with me, as always...
I'm Hannah Kubiak. Hello.
Hello. That's some good coffee.
Oh, an excellent brew as usual, Donald.
As always, thank you to the fine folks at Valentine Coffee, my employer, for providing us with the delicious brew.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep. For funding your podcasting addiction.
well, they haven't sponsored us, so.
Yeah, but they give you money for.
Yeah, they literally give I get paid to make coffee. And it's beautiful. I also get paid to taste coffee.
That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
You know, I get paid to do a similar thing. I get paid to serve drinks and to drink drinks and to watch shows. So that's pretty awesome too. Living the dream.
Indeed. Speaking of that.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we have to plug it since we're both
absolutely
exactly. So this upcoming Saturday, starting Thursday, December 5th. I want to say
December 6th. Wait. Let me look at my calendar.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, today we're recording on Monday the 2nd. Tuesday's the 3rd.
Okay.
Wednesday's the 4th.
Okay, so it starts on Thursday, but if we're releasing it on Friday, today, Henry V is going up. Voices Found Repertory's first show of their 4th season. Woo! Yeah, and so that runs for 2 weekends. It runs from you were right, the 5th. Runs from the 5th through the 8th, and then the second weekend is well, it doesn't say. No, the second weekend is the 13th through the 15th.
All right, there we go. Awesome.
Yeah. You can find information about it and get tickets at voicesfoundrep.com, and we will put a little link in there. And if you're in the Milwaukee area, that is.
If you're in the Milwaukee area or in Wisconsin, or you just like to travel around and just see Shakespeare shows, definitely come check us out.
Some random Florida man shows up.
Yep, we got a great performance space as provided by the UC. Thank you again, Matt Kemple.
Yep,
love you, buddy.
Oh, I've seen what they've done with the set. It's really cool.
And you helped with the costuming.
Yeah, and I was about to say that the costumes are pretty dope.
I've been following your work of that on Instagram. It's looking mighty fine.
Yes,
and directed as always by one of the founders of Voices Found Repertory, the always great Alec Lockman, and. Featuring a lot of alumni. Mm-hmm. A lot of great alumni and a couple of new faces.
All 3 of the founders of the company are involved in this show.
I can't remember the last time all 3 of them were involved in the same show.
I know.
Outside of season 1.
Yeah, we've got Jake Russell Thompson as
Henry.
As Henry, and Andy Montano, the other founder. He is playing the part of Gloucester.
Ooh.
Who is one of the lords in England. And,
we will definitely talk about this show after it's run.
After it runs, yeah.
Yeah.
We should start doing a thing where we go and see shows and talk about them.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that we do that starting in the new year, like
awesome.
One of the general musing for the musing episodes, like we'll talk about like theater stuff,
and theater thing, and then something else that just happens to. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So Other than that, like, other than work stuff, how's life been, Hannah?
It's been very, very busy. I mean, I'm in Tech Week right now, so
yeah.
So I've been just frantically sewing things, frantically putting stuff together. Like I had the plague earlier this week during tech. Like when you came to drop off coffee for us, I was basically like wandering around in a daze doing all this stuff. Yeah, so I showed up and I was making all these costume things, doing fittings for people, and I actually kind of was like, well, I gotta go refit some stuff, and I asked the director, I said, hey, I have the plague, I'm gonna go home for like 3 hours, and then I'll be back. What say you? And he's like, yeah, get out of here. Yeah, I basically slept until noon today. So
all right, that sounds great.
Insane.
I had to work at 7 this morning, serving coffee to the good people. We gotta get early. At least I wasn't as up as early as like most Starbucks employees. When you have to from what I heard from a former Starbucks employee who's also one of my coworkers at work, Starbucks employees, if they open in the morning, have to start at 4:30 in the morning.
Holy crap! You have to get up 2 hours before you went to bed.
I struggle. I struggle to get up at 5 in the morning in order to make a 7 a.m. shift.
Yeah, I struggle to roll out of bed at 7:25, 5 minutes before I have to leave for my earliest shift. So
I have to set 3 alarms for myself on my phone in order to make sure I wake up at the proper time.
Holy crap. When I was a kid, I used to wake up early so that I could read before school.
Wow.
Insanity. I know, right?
You were much more studious than I was. I actually, when I was in school, like, I would usually, like, either watch shows or read, like, way past my bedtime. Especially during...
Oh, no, I would do that, too.
Especially during high school. Like, oh my... I think that's why I suffer from insomnia at times, is because I spent so much time awake late at night during high school. Like, there were some days I would only get, like, maybe, like, 3-4 hours of sleep.
Yep, well...
Which kind of helped for when I went into college, to be honest.
Yeah, actually. I think in college I pulled an all-nighter once or twice a week.
Oh,
like,
my God.
Insane.
Like, it felt like all the time I was pulling all-nighters when I was going through my acting major. There was one semester where my days would start off, I would wake up at like 6:30 in the morning, my first class was at 8 a.m., and if I was doing a show as well, I would not get home until well after midnight.
Dude. Oh,
and it was 5 days a week where that happened.
Yeah. We were always doing projects in the theater late at night. Like we'd be doing like lighting projects where we had to program and hang these lights, or we'd be doing design projects where we had to paint or build a model or something. Yeah. So we would just basically never leave the theater. We'd just sort of, burrow down into the green room, and it would start to smell terrible down there.
Man.
And people would
just like all different like crafts equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, people would bring us coffee. I actually, there was a costume rack that it had. It was made out of wood, and it had kind of a bottom to it. And I found and I got like a little platform almost, so that if you have shoes and you put them there, you can roll it somewhere.
Oh, neat.
And so I found these yoga mats that were used for acting classes, and I put the yoga mats down, and I made a little bed for us so we could take naps when we needed to.
That sounds so good.
And so
the only thing that can make that even better is if I had a Zafu with me to put underneath my back in order to stretch it out a little bit. Like, I wouldn't even use it to, like, nap. I would just enter, like, a deep meditative state.
Yeah. Like, I'd come in and be like, hey, guys, I made us a bed. We never have to leave.
Yay!
And so we'd be, like, living in the theater, and the security people would come, and sometimes we would hide, but other times they would come walking through, and they'd be like, we're going to lock the doors now. And we're like, yep, we're going to be here all night. Thanks.
Which is actually kind of awesome that that theater majors are usually, like, some of the only people that can get away with crap like that in college.
Sometimes.
Like, I've heard stories of, at UWM, several different, mainly it was the set design people when they were working for the main stage that, some of them would pull, like, several, like, all-nighters. Like, especially if they were, like, deep within, like, their major at the time. It was insane.
Yep.
And I remember, like, there was one costume design student who eventually was, like, one of the main heads of the department at one point. Shout out to my boy Levi Miles. Like, congrats on your wedding, buddy. I hope you and Winston are having a happy time.
I heard they had one of the best, nerdiest weddings.
Oh yeah,
in LA, not LA. No,
in Vegas.
In Vegas. Yeah. Oh gosh.
Indeed, and yeah. But, like, he would spend, like, so much time, like, with him, like, with costume design, like, he spent so much time. He's his attention to detail is always, like, great, and his passion was always inspiring.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, he had probably one of the geekiest like, the way his fiance proposed to him, well, his then fiance, when they proposed, was, like, one of the geekiest ways I have ever seen. So, they were in Japan when this happened. And he...
Say no more.
No, okay, there's more detail to this, but yeah, obviously. He proposed, Levi's, now husband, Wainston, proposed to him, on this particular set of steps in, I want to say it's Tokyo, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
The reason why, that set of stairs is because it was that set of stairs that was, the animated cover art for one of Levi's favorite, anime movies of all time, Your Name.
Oh my gosh.
And Wainston knew that. So
That's insane.
I want to know how much planning went into that. Because I'm like, the amount of dedication and eye to detail to track this place down, I'm like, you can't ask for a better partner than that.
That's pretty awesome. Oh, yeah. I sometimes think about that, you know, like, oh, man, you know, I would love to have one of those, like, really nerdy weddings, you know. Like, so, like, probably the ceremony would be very traditional in a church and stuff, because I am religious, but the reception would be off the chain. Like,
I could totally see you having a Middle-earth style reception.
Yes. There would be somebody... Ideally, it would be my husband would sing that thing that song that Aragorn sang at the end of the Return of the King.
Oh,
you know, I used to know all the words.
We got to go back and see that because
be flower petals.
Yeah, like flower petals. Would you look like Arwen though?
No. I would probably, well, just because of the way that I am, I'd probably get some kind of like circlet thing, but yeah, absolutely. You know, but and other things like there would be D20 shots.
Oh yes.
There would be like the bar would be like a cantina kind of thing. There would be cantina music playing. At some point, that one,
yeah. We're the Cantina Band. If you have any recommendations for us, please just let us know. Play that same song! Same song! Here we go!
There would be like the 4 tables, like from Harry Potter. Put people there. They would all be sorted.
Have you taken the Pottermore's thing to like know like what your house is?
Yes.
What is it?
I am a Hufflepuff.
Hey, awesome.
Woo! What about yourself?
Ravenclaw.
Ravenclaw?
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I thought I was gonna be like either like Gryffindor or Slytherin, but then Ravenclaw was my house I was sorted into, and then I was thinking about it, I'm like, that actually makes a lot more sense now that I think about it.
Yep, you're a smarty.
I mean, I try.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
you're succeeding. I think you're pretty smart.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, shucks.
Muchas gracias.
Oh.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm trying to think what else would be in the nerd wedding. Definitely, like, the banners of Gondor would be hanging.
Oh, yes. Yes. Well... Oh, and then when when the entire wedding reception comes in, you need I was actually gonna say like for you though I was actually gonna be a little bit more fitting. Honestly, you need to have like when in Return of the King, like, when the Rohan theme plays in the background, when the Rohirrim are charging at the army.
Yes! Oh my gosh, yes.
I can totally see that.
If I was going to live somewhere in Middle-earth, it would be Rohan.
Absolutely! Rohan is the best area of humans.
Oh, man.
Yep. Rohan over Gondor any day of the week.
Best humans. Yeah.
The theme of Rohan, probably one of my favorite pieces of music from that trilogy.
Oh, definitely.
I will say it is one of the best pieces of music in that trilogy. Fight me on this. I dare you, audience. I dare you.
Yep. If anybody has any more ideas for my nerd wedding, let me know. Oh, gosh.
Oh, man. Why do we you just let that out there.
I know. Oh, something else. We'd get an R2-D2. with like a drinks tray on its head.
Yeah.
It would be like a Roomba,
just like in Return of the Jedi.
Around. Yeah.
Yes. But here's my question: would the Oh my god. I want to take something like Game of Thrones inspired. Like if the wedding cake could be like a giant fucking pie.
Actually, yes, I really do love pie. I would very much rather have pie than cake any day.
Oh, absolutely. Actually,
would be a pie.
Since Thanksgiving just passed, I actually do want to share this. So, I wanted to do this, but like I am so sad that I wasn't able to do it. I was looking up like different kinds of pies that I could make for Thanksgiving. I couldn't get it together because like I was so busy with so much things, but there was a pie recipe that I found that I loved that I wanted to try.
Yeah.
So it is a sweet potato cheesecake.
Oh, that sounds so good.
And here's the reason why I love it. One, just to throw this out there, like, I apologize for swing. I'm a slut for cheesecake. Unabashedly, I am a huge slut for cheesecake. So, like, anytime, like, I have a chance to, like, get cheesecake, like, I'm in. It's among, like, one of my top 5 favorite desserts.
Oh, man.
No matter what.
Cheesecake.
2, I've actually had sweet potato cheesecake before. When I was in high school, I took a spring break trip to Atlanta, and I was at a restaurant. And I was at a chicken and waffle restaurant where they had that as a dessert, and I was curious because I wasn't always the biggest fan of sweet potatoes growing up.
Yeah,
but I had it, and it was so good. It was the right combination of sweet and savory, which worked to perfection. And I've been trying to find a recipe that I think replicated that for the longest time. I found one, but I wasn't able to make it. I was so sad. So, what the recipe entails is that the filling was a combination of, I can't remember the exact measurements, but it was a combination of blended sweet potatoes, cream cheese, like actual, like, fresh cream cheese, sugar, some vanilla, pumpkin pie spice, and then for the pie crust, instead of doing like a graham cracker pie crust, you use gingerbread instead.
Ooh.
That's what got me, and I'm like,
you're hired.
I'm like, I will make this
to make my wedding pie.
Absolutely, absolutely, I will take that with honor.
Oh gosh.
But after that, like after it's like done baking and the cooling down thing, you add like a light caramel drizzle on top, and then roasted almonds. Oh, so good. Yeah, that's what got me, and I'm like, I'm so mad I didn't make this.
Oh man, yeah, that sounds really good.
Like cheesecake is my life.
Oh man,
I'll make us cheesecake for a podcast one time.
Ooh, awesome! Yes. Do that.
We might have to. I might have to do that for like a New Year's thing. If not cheesecake, I will make us cookies.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Preferably, I'll probably make snickerdoodles because snickerdoodle is like one of my favorite cookies.
Really?
Yes.
Me too.
Yes.
I love a snickerdoodle. I love a good snickerdoodle. Oh, before I forget, we're talking about like nerdy things and Star Wars things and stuff. Ooh, maybe I should have the buns.
Oh, come in, Princess Leia style.
Yeah, put my buns. But a couple of days ago, I went to see. I went to the Mad Rogues fundraiser. They were doing a fundraiser for their next season, and they did a staged reading of the Jedi Doth Return, which is the Return of the Jedi, written as though it was Shakespeare, and so much fun.
Oh my god, I've always wanted.
Like, 'tis a trap. And like, just amazing stuff, and it was so funny. Like there was this whole like the scene where Luke and Vader are in the elevator going up to see the Emperor.
Yeah, and
they staged that like a soap opera. Like they did like kind of like this where they're like. What's something that he says? Where he's like, I will never turn to the dark side, and then he like turns away, And then, and then Vader says, "It is your destiny," and he turns the other way. And then you're doing these deep, brooding, staring off into the, at nothing, basically.
Okay, for those listening, since we didn't have any visual evidence, Hannah literally stood up and acted out the entire thing. It was brilliant.
I'll never turn to the dark side.
She went full force on that. She went full force.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. What else was there? Let me see. Maya Danks was part of the cast.
Oh, that's right. I heard.
Of Leia. Yeah.
Oh, she was Leia?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, she would slay as that.
Mm-hmm, yeah. There was a guy playing Chewbacca who just kind of every once in a while. That was better than mine.
It takes a while. My little brother can actually do it a little better than I can.
Yeah, it was so good. When the Emperor zapped Luke with his electricity, there was another member of the cast who came up behind and used this blue silly string and sprayed it all over him.
I mean, you gotta have some visual representation for it.
And they did a lot of good. They did a lot of good stuff. There was the guy who was playing Jabba the Hutt. One of the other actors had it was Wyatt, actually, if you know who Wyatt is.
Yeah.
But he had a piece of pantyhose on his hand with some googly eyes, and it's that little creature that's like Jabba's gremlin.
Oh my god, no!
Yeah, and he put it on Jabba's shoulder, and they were just standing there, and so Jabba would say things, and then the guy would just go
I hate that thing!
Oh gosh, it's the creepiest little...
That is the creepiest damn puppet of the entire Star Wars original trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty creepy.
You can't argue this with me.
And then, what is it called? A bantha? What was the creature that Luke killed in Jabba's... Was it a bantha?
Oh, the Rancor.
Rancor, that's right. And you know how that guy, the owner of the Rancor, comes in and starts sobbing?
Oh yeah.
In the in the Shakespeare adaptation of it, that character has this whole giant monologue to his dead pet, and he's
Yes!
It was so long.
Oh my god, yes!
And it said parting is such sweet sorrow. It was two of my favorite things combined, and it was so funny, and we had such an involved audience. When they got out lightsabers, all of us in the audience were going
oh my god, yes!
As it was, as the person moved it.
As it should be for a show like that.
Yeah, exactly. And, they had this other element where there are lines in The Jedi Doth Return that are actually Shakespeare lines, and they were like, okay, if you hear a line that you think is from a Shakespeare play, you can interrupt and shout out "Yub-nub." And then they made it into kind of a drinking game. They're like, and if you guess the play right, the cast has to drink. But if you guess it wrong, everyone in the audience has to drink.
Well, as expected for a Mad Rogue show, mucho alcohol is involved.
Yes. And to be honest, most of them was me. And because a lot of it was from Hamlet, because Luke is kind of similar to Hamlet. He's deep, brooding, young man,
Well, in Return of the Jedi, yeah. He has that brooding nature more than the other two.
And so they actually they banned me at one point. They were
you are too powerful for this game.
Yeah, exactly. Because, Hamlet was my favorite play when I was 8 years old. I was in that play a couple years ago. So I'm very familiar with the script. So by the end of it, I didn't even say Yub-nub anymore. I was just like, Hamlet! And
literally. If I was putting together a trivia team about anything geek related and Shakespeare related, you would be my number one pick to bring on. Some other ones would probably be our good friends Thomas and Maggie. Yes. You got to bring them on. Those are
dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo. The two most beautiful people I have ever had the pleasure of coming across as part of a show.
Oh, they're so wonderful.
I love them. I want to kiss them over again. And then
and you could if you come and see Henry V, because Thomas is in that.
I know. I'm so happy I'm going to see my boy. I'm so proud of him.
man, it's so good. Oh,
I'm so glad he's coming back. He's so great. I love Thomas to death. which by the way, hi Thomas and Maggie, if you're listening to this, I know I know you listen to it, Maggie. So there's that.
I know you're out there.
Also, shout out to Lizette. I love you, girl.
Wait, the Lizette we both know?
Yep.
Oh,
I was talking with her the other day,
Lizette Stetson.
Yeah. So here's a little bit of a background for this for the viewers listening. Our mutual friend Lizette, before we realized she was a mutual friend, I met both her and our other mutual friend, Sarah Zapian, who's also a member of VFR. I met them during my training intensive with Shakespeare and Company that I mentioned before on the podcast. And I was actually there at Lizette's wedding.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I was. I was actually there.
I don't remember you.
I kept quiet to myself mostly.
Oh, okay. So. I was the bridesmaid who played the ukulele for them at the reception.
That was you!
Yeah, that was me.
I thought, oh my god. Okay, we're learning many things live here, people.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I wrote that song for them.
Oh my god.
Probably one of the best gifts I've ever given.
When I think I can't like you anymore.
Oh, shucks, man.
I swear, Hannah, you're making...
Shucks, man.
You taught...
Yeah, I told Lisette about the podcast, but I didn't know that she knew you as well. I was just like, it's just with some dude I know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, we can... Me and her became such good friends over that month. Like, she was talking to me. We were talking to each other like a lot. Like, she was like one of the few people like outside of like the people I knew from UWM that I was actively hanging out with.
Yeah, she's very friendly.
Oh, also. She's so great. She's like one of the purest souls like I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I love her to death.
Yeah, she's very good with people.
Oh,
she was like, yeah, if I spend too long alone in the apartment, like when we were roommates in college.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one of them, and she was like, and she said, well, if you guys are all gone at rehearsal, and I'm just in my apartment, if I get lonely after about an hour, and I go outside and try and find someone to talk to.
Oh my god!
What the hell?
Mama Lizette, no!
Yeah.
She's like a lost puppy.
I know.
Oh my god!
I'm trying to find the name of her the theater company that they have, and
they're out east, right?
Yeah, they're in Virginia, Troutville, Virginia.
Okay, all right. I can't remember the name off the top of my head either.
And their address.
No, don't. No. Let's not bring any attention to that. Let's not bring any attention to that. But yeah. I mean, like she was always awesome. She was like one of the first people like to make a trip out here, like before like VFR even became a thing. Like back when me, Andy, and Alec Lockman came out to college before Jake Thompson moved to Milwaukee.
Right. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to get them to come and visit her and Mike, but they have 2 little girls now, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah, these small little children.
Small ones.
I have been meaning to make like more like travel plans to like go
visit people.
Go visit people and everything like that. We'll plan a road trip.
Yeah, I'm unattached, untethered to anything, so I should just hermit around and not hermit, nomad, because a hermit keeps to themselves.
Yeah, that is the right definition. I had a brain fart there for a minute. This is what happens when you've been up since 5 a.m. But luckily,
what happens when you've been up since noon?
You're more freshly minded than I am.
Not really. No. Oh man.
Fair enough. We're all a little loopy today.
Yes, we're all a little mad sometimes.
Indeed.
Oh man, I want to talk to you about Psycho sometime in more detail.
Oh my god, yes.
All right. Oh, yeah. Should we wrap this up? Do our plugs?
Yeah, pretty soon and all that. But I do wanted to say like one thing on that.
Sure.
We've mentioned it before. Hannah, you're part of a awesome campaign of Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch, Loaded Dice Adventures. Check them out. I was watching them last Monday. Oh my god!
What?
I still can't get over the fact of how many nat 20s that you rolled during that entire freaking section.
I know.
I'm watching this. I'm watching this ad here, and I clipped a few of the moments that you were rolling nat 20s. I'm like, and so many of us that were in the chat room were like, we need these dice. Give us these dice.
No, you can't have it. It was the same one too. It was
same dye the entire time?
It was my red one that I got for this character.
Nice.
She's a
Petra, right?
Petra, yeah, she's a Dragonborn Ranger Rogue Assassin.
Ooh, nice. Very nice.
I love it. Oh yeah, but I always sort of start to get kind of paranoid if I keep rolling too many 20s because, like, people always kind of joke. They're like, oh, yeah, you blitzed that in the microwave, didn't you? Or something. I'm like, no. Like...
I believe you.
I honestly think it was, well, all of us were rolling lots of 20s.
Yeah, everyone in that session.
Every single one of us rolled at least one. And, like, my first roll of the night was a nat 20. I think it was because we were doing we're doing that food drive thing.
Yeah, there was some there was some good juju going around, like
because everybody in the chat gets 20 gold when somebody rolls a nat 20, and then 200 gold was for like a pound of food that we were going to donate to Hunger Task Force.
And you got like 113 pounds of food was right around. Right? More than that?
116 pounds of food.
Damn, that's still great.
From our viewers. Yeah.
That's still pretty great. I contributed to at least 2 of those.
Yes.
I was trying to get gold the entire stream, and I was like, damn it, Gamble Command, work for me.
Yeah.
We gotta do it for the food.
Do it for the hungry. Yeah, that was insane. I am so glad that we got to send all that food to Hunger Task Force. And one of our cast members now has to do 100 burpees because...
I can't wait for that video to come out.
Oh my gosh. We're probably going to film that separately at some point.
That's fair. That's probably fair.
Ridiculous.
Oh, man.
How was he going to do that?
Oh, man. God dang it, D&D, I love you. Honestly, if... Like, once my brother comes back from college, like, I have to bring him on for a D&D themed episode. You and him will probably talk the entire time.
Oh, man.
He does his own, he's part of the D&D club of Whitewater, and he's been running, like, his own, like, DM sessions and everything.
Oh, wow.
So, like, if there was an podcast episode where we're just talking mainly just about, like, Dungeons and Dragons stories, like, I have to bring him in.
Yeah. He sounds a lot like my sister, actually. She's, like... that person who she doesn't even have to look something up. You're like, you're like, okay, I cast Charm Person, and she's like, okay, Wisdom saving throw and something or other, and she knows everything.
He's pretty close.
Yeah,
she's pretty close.
Yep. She knows pretty much everything, and she's like, well, wait, you can't. You don't have sneak attack in that case. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe you.
Yep, and the crazy thing is, the crazy thing about this actually ties into his major because he's an English major.
Oh, okay.
So, like, he's writing down campaigns, everything like that, and he's an English major. I'm like, that's perfect for him.
Oh my gosh, I never thought of that. That, like, because I get to play a character. It's it's improv. I also get to make up a story, which is like my writing thing, and no wonder I love it so much.
Why are Dungeons and Dragons campaigns not available for, like, acting credits? They honestly should be.
They should be.
They should be, especially since you guys are streaming them.
Yeah, they should be. But I'm not in school anymore, so it doesn't really...
Well, I mean...
I can put it on my resume.
Yeah, as a resume, like an actor's portfolio and stuff like that. Like, honestly, like... Yep. Like, if commercials can go into an actor's portfolio, so should Dungeons and Dragons streams.
Yeah.
Get on that.
Which is great, because I would do it anyway, so...
Absolutely. I know you would.
Oh, man.
I would, too. I would put all of my streaming stuff, like, part of my portfolio.
Oh, gosh. The weird stuff that you put on your resume when you're an actor.
Oh, my God. I remember, oh, my God. What was it that... I don't even remember what I've put on my resume in the past. Like, I've done so much, like, twisting and turning, everything like that. I think at one point I said that I can mime that I can put my entire body into a box into an endless void.
Oh. I can moonwalk. I should put that on my resume.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That is a very good skill.
Yep.
And in that case, I think we're going to moonwalk right out of this episode. I think that's a good way to end it off. So, thanks again, guys, for listening in for more General Ramblings. This has been episode 5 of the General Geekery podcast. Again, don't forget to check out Voices Found Repertory and their upcoming production of Henry V, coming this weekend, opening on December 5th.
Yes.
It'll open December 5th, but the podcast will be coming out on Friday, which is still available.
Yep.
Still available. You can get the tickets at
voicesfoundrep.com.
Which we will put the link for all of that in the description for this episode.
Absolutely.
Because I always love giving those guys a shout out. They're like family to me, and I always love the work that we do. This is the work.
This is the work.
Yep. Indeed, this is the work.
Yep.
You can check out Hannah on Monday nights at around 7:30 p.m. Central, and at Loaded Dice Adventures on Twitch. Of course, the link will be in the description.
Yep, twitch.tv/loadeddiceadventures.
Love it, especially if you want to check out some more Dungeon Dice Adventures on Twitch. Dungeon Dice Adventures. What am I saying? That's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. Dungeons and Dragons thing. Donald, get it together.
It's Dungeons and Dragons, Donald. Dang it!
You can go ahead and slap me on the wrist for that.
I'm not a very violent person.
I know. I know that's fair, but I've always responded well to corporal punishment. So there's that.
Oh my gosh, Donald.
No, I'm kidding. Relax. Relax. I'm just kidding.
Yep. So you can watch that. We have fun giveaways for various stuff, art, painted minis, dice, things like that. You can also follow me on Instagram at Pythian Legume.
I'm still trying to figure out that reference. I will figure it out one of these days.
I looked it up on the internet and I can't find it. So you have to actually know what it's from.
I need to figure this out. I will research the heck out of this.
Okay, we're probably going to do a podcast about it, what it's from.
Just give me a heads up about it, and I will see what I can do. But other than that, you can also check me out on social media on Twitter, Instagram, and you can also check me out on Twitch at RyuzakiMK7. I will put the info for that in the description of the episode. I know the name can be a little bit of a mouthful. I can't remember how many times people mispronounce the name because I know where it's from and other people don't. So I'm like, yeah, I totally understand. But yeah, that's more of a play on me. So there's that. So again, this has been episode 5 of the General Geekery podcast. Don't forget, you can always follow us on Facebook at General Geekery Podcast. We're also available on Spreaker, Spotify, and wherever podcasts can be found. I still need to get us on Apple Podcasts, and I need to get us on SoundCloud, just in case people on SoundCloud want to do that as well.
Make it so.
Indeed, I shall make it so. Also, quick shout out to the Twilight Andy Wagner for providing us with music for intro and outro for the podcast.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, sir.
We love you, buddy. Thank you again for that. And until next time, guys, keep on keeping on, and always remember, keep your geek on.
Keep your geek on.
May the geek be with you.
Always.